Welcome back to Future Perfect Tech Short. Samsung beat Apple to the punch last year when it launched its first smartwatch, the Galaxy Gear. And while Apple is yet to release the iWatch it unveiled in September, Samsung has already rolled out its latest version of the Gear. The Manila Bulletin Tech Lab has the first unit in the Philippines, and Future Perfect went there to take a look at it. While waiting for me to arrive at the Manila Bulletin Tech Lab, Art gave me a call on Samsung's newest smartwatch, the Gear S.
Hey, Art.
Hi, Tony.
Anong gamit ng phone?
Samsung Gear S.
Oh, you're calling me from a smartwatch.
The Gear S has a curved 2-inch Super AMOLED screen that can display a variety of clock faces, from analog to digital, and a host of applications and notifications optimized for the small but sharp display. It uses the Opera mini browser to access internet content. The SIM tray for the Gear S is located at the back of the device, together with a charging terminal. The SIM enclosure and the other ports are not sealed, which means the Gear S can't be submerged in water. The Gear S is powered by a 1 GHz processor and has 512 megabytes of RAM and a storage capacity of 4 GB. It can be paired with any Android smartphone to receive notifications from social media apps. While voice calls on the Gear S are convenient with fairly good audio through its built-in speaker, text messaging is a bit unwieldy.
It's very difficult to send text messages using the watch because it's very small. The keyboard is really small and you can't use it really well.
Being the chief of the Manila Bulletin Tech Lab, Art Sabaniego has tried almost all the smartwatches that have come out this year. When I finally saw Art with his Gear S, this was his verdict.
For now, this is the best smartwatch, not only because of the form, but also because of the function.
Yeah.
So, aside from being watch, it's also like any other smartwatches, it's also a fitness gear for me.
Now, when we last had StarMobile on Future Perfect, it was to show the Octa, the company's first octa-core smartphone with NFC capability. And that was back in March. 8 months later, StarMobile has released a new octa-core model, but now with LTE. And StarMobile's Elijah Mendoza brought it with him here to Future Perfect. Elijah, good to see you again. Thank you for coming.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Now, the Octa, of course, we were all excited to actually see a locally branded octa-core smartphone. And as you said in that episode, and I remember distinctly asking you, when will StarMobile come out with an LTE version?
Okay, now here we are.
And here we are, 8 months later, and this is the 9X.
Yes, the 9X under the in the tradition of our flagships.
Yeah.
We had the Night last year, and now we have the 9X. Now,
time does fly. Yes. I can remember the first night.
So X stands for anything you want it to stand, like excellent, extreme. So this is the much improved version of the Night. Okay. It's a 5.5-inch phone with a super octa-core processor.
A super octa-core,
yes. And 3 gigs of RAM, and as you mentioned, LTE connectivity.
Okay. Now, when you look at the screen itself, it's a 5.5-inch display. I mean, you did think that you'd probably have a battery big enough to power the screen and make it last for a full day.
Well, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We have a 3,350 milliampere battery for this one, which is the largest we've ever put on a phablet.
Yeah. Is it a user replaceable battery? Or
no, it's fixed inside.
It's fixed inside.
For obvious reasons, of course. It's a little large for you to be able to take it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can't swap out batteries in case you need to replace it. And now a lot of phones already coming out being updated to the latest version of Android OS, which is Lollipop. What version of Android is this running on?
We're running on KitKat, of course. But of course, a customized version wherein StarMobile already put in some of the cool applications that we think Filipinos will like. So a lot of our users, we got good feedback from StarMobile Sync last year, and this one has StarMobile Sync 2.0.
StarMobile Sync.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it does is it transfers contacts, calendars, and all of your files from your old phones easily to your new StarMobile phone via Wi-Fi.
Okay. So it makes it, well, at least more convenient. You don't have to be maybe connecting your phone to a laptop or a computer.
Yes, definitely.
To be able to sync. Okay, so over Wi-Fi.
Yeah, over Wi-Fi. Also over Bluetooth.
Also over Bluetooth.
Yeah, so the previous version only over Bluetooth.
Okay. Now, as with many other octa-core powered phones, when they say it's an octa-core processor, it's usually just one processor, an 8-core processor.
Yeah.
But with the phone itself, with the 9X, there's something that you call, what is it, big little tech? What is that?
Yes, big little architecture. So you have a big quad core and a little quad core.
Okay.
So the little quad core is for the easier tasks like email or internet browsing. It saves you on battery power. Now the bigger processor, the big architecture, is more for gaming and for HD video editing right in your phone.
I see. So if it's more graphics and video intensive, it uses the big quad core.
Yes.
And then if it's more text-based, it's the little quad core. So put together, it becomes an octa-core?
It becomes an octa-core,
They run separately.
No, they can run simultaneously. So it's also a true octa-core phone.
I see. Okay. Now, again, alam mo mga Pinoy, maraming gustong i-load sa telepono nila, baka mga movies na dina-download, mga music. And always the beef with a locally branded phone is ang hina-hina or ang liit-liit ng storage capacity you have on the 9X.
We have 32 gigabytes built-in internal here.
32 gig. Expandable pa with SD, wala na?
Not SD, but through OTG. So if you have an OTG flash drive or a cable, you can connect your flash drives. Yeah.
So OTG supported na siya?
Yes.
Because I remember the first night, hindi pa OTG yun.
No, not yet.
So finally, OTG support built into the 9X with 32 gig RAM memory storage on board.
Yes.
Oh, malaki-laki na rin.
Yeah.
Sana in the future, meron na rin kayong mga ibang, like, meron 64, may 128.
Definitely looking into it.
Yes. So, I guess, no, ang hinahanap ng mga Pilipino is a fast processor, good screen, a big battery life.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you answered all of those needs with the 9X. Now, ang question dito is, when does it finally come out? Kasi you just launched it in the last part of November. Okay, so when does it finally come out?
It will come out soon. Hopefully, we'll have a few units by next month.
Okay.
And then, the suggested retail price, but what we could say right now is below 20,000.
Below 20,000.
Yes.
Sige. So, sana maging competitive pa rin yun.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Chinese branded phones that are coming into the market that are very price competitive. Now, we'll talk about, syempre, the newest feature of the StarMobile phone, and that's the LTE capability. Now, everybody looks forward to having a fast data connection. Will the LTE in this 9X work with any LTE system?
It will work with probably around 80% of them.
Okay.
But that's a lot more.
Abroad, no?
Yes, you can bring it abroad, particularly if you visit China a lot. It used to be, China has a frequency that's very close. It's not very open standard. So with this phone, you can connect easily to TDD LTE. So that's a standard used in China. Of course, also in the Middle East and the United States.
What is this that I read that it has dual LTE switching?
So if you have two LTE SIMs, you could switch between the two of them. So depending on which one you would like to use for connection, you could just do it over the settings menu.
So dual SIM siya.
Yes.
And you can use two LTE enabled SIMs. So active ba sila at both times? Pwedeng ganon?
They're both active, but you can only choose one as your data. As your primary data.
I see. So will it help you find out kung alin na mas mabilis na data speed?
Of course. If you have speed test, you can use that.
Yun na lang. You can rely on that.
And it's also a nano SIM and a micro SIM, which is the first for a Filipino smartphone.
So nano SIM,
Yes. So we're after uses of a particular food.
Of course. Now let's look at the interface itself. Now, when you, of course, KitKat,
we try to go as plain vanilla as possible.
So, may app 3 ba siya?
Yeah, it does. Just click on here.
App 3, so you can look at all the apps that you've installed on your phone.
I want to show you just how fast this phone is.
Okay.
So, you mentioned that we have the octa.
Okay. Oh, that's the octa,
The octa is already pretty fast on its own. But just to show you, can you do the honors of pressing dead trigger over there?
Trigger.
Yes. Let's do it at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go. already loaded.
Baka yung finger ko may problema. No, my trigger is not as fast as your dead trigger.
So this game is already loaded on the Night X, while it's still loading on the Octa. The Octa in itself is already a very fast phone.
Yes, yes.
But you see the difference between the two. This one you're about to start the game. This one.
What happened in between the time that we both pressed on the icon? Why does it actually load faster on the Night X?
For two reasons. That's the big architecture in play. That's the big quad-core in play, and the 3 gigabytes of RAM. So 3 gigabytes, usually you have to go for the international brands to actually enjoy 3 gigs of RAM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right?
Hindi ba manghihinaya ang mga tao naman, Elijah, that they just spent for the Octa 8 months ago, and now you're upgrading it to the Night X with a lot more features, syempre, and a lot more capabilities. I mean, nanghihinayang sila. How can they actually feel like they can buy a phone like StarMobile Night X and not expect a better version in a couple of months?
Actually, the Octa and the Night X are now catering to two different users, different types. So this is really now more for the gamer. Because you have a larger screen, a more powerful battery, and of course better connection with less lag. So if you're the hardcore gamer, the Night X is now for you. Now, if you're more of a casual power user, you can opt for the Octa.
So you'll expect the Octa to drop in price because you have the Night X.
Yes.
Okay. How much is the Octa selling for now?
The Octa is now $39.90.
$39.90.
Yes.
Bumaba na ba yan or bababa?
Yes, it came out at $69.90, but now still with the free Bluetooth speaker and wireless charger.
Okay. Does the Night X come bundled with anything?
It comes bundled with a flip case.
With a flip case?
Yes.
Okay. Wala namang, what's in the box? This is a really nice looking box.
Yeah, it's a look.
Although it does remind me of another fruit company.
So it does come with the special earphones with mic. I think it's the most isolating type.
Okay.
And of course, typical StarMobile devices, it comes with a screen protector.
Gamit pa ba nun?
Yeah, of course. Even if you have a scratch-resistant screen, such as this one, people still use it as a kind of smudge guard. Fingerprints,
Ako kasi parang feeling ko parang dumidilim with the screen protector. As with most things, I like my phones naked. Thank you, Elijah, for coming over. And these are not yet out, but they will be out in a couple of weeks' time. So, hopefully, people will check out the new StarMobile Dual LTE Night X. Thank you, Elijah.
All right, thank you.
And that's our episode for this week. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch parts of this episode on anc.yahoo.com and on iwantv.com.ph. I'm Tony Velasquez. Join me again next week when we examine the present and look ahead to the future perfect of Philippine and global tech.